So I've been wanting to talk about this one for a little bit, and for some reason just didn't get around to it. But whenever Stephanie and I take Clark to the store, we notice he's super social and he'll like wave at people and say hi and all these things. And no matter what store we go in, no matter time of day, weather, whatever, if we see people that are in a good mood or bad mood, no matter what mood they're in, almost every single time when Clark waves and says hi, they almost every single time at the very least will smile. Even if they don't wave or say hi back, almost every time they'll at least smile. And he does it to everybody, like everyone. He's always like super social and says hi and everything to everyone. And it got me thinking about like how children interact versus how adults interact. So like for instance, like him, like it's like if he waves and says hi to people, and like he's just super cute anyway. But if he does that and he gets all this positive feedback, all these people like super happy and everything, but versus like an adult, me or anyone else, if we were to do that, sometimes we might get looked at weird. If you're in a store, especially like if you're working there, like people expect it, and then even then they might just ignore you or something. But if you're just a random person, I've done it before. I've tested out. Like I try to like say like smile at people and wave and things like that, even if I don't know them, when I'm in the store. But a lot of times they'll just like ignore you or they look at you funny. Like, who are you and why are you talking to me? Yet a kid, it's totally fine. So it's like, why is that different? That shouldn't be any different. If I wave at someone, like it should be like they typically will wave back or smile or something, some sort of positive acknowledgement. Or whether it's I say hi, I wave, even if I just smile, it should be common courtesy for that person to just smile back. Smiles are contagious. When our son is living proof of that. This kid can make anybody smile no matter what kind of mood they're in. But why is it when people smile with a kid but they don't do it with an adult? One of the things you always hear, and they've said this for decades, is like everyone tells their kids don't talk to strangers. Like I'm obviously going to tell you like don't take candy from strangers or something like that. But why can't kids say hi or wave? Like I think that's perfectly fine. Like I'm obviously watching my kid. I'm with my kid. Like it's okay to wave. Like why is it? Like I understand we risk abduction and stuff like that. And I forgot the percentages, but I know that the majority of abductions are by someone the kid knows anyway. But we're teaching kids like, oh, don't talk to those people. Like don't interact with people. Like be an introvert. We need to stop teaching them that like it's okay to wave and smile at people. And spread positivity. When we're born, it said that we're born with only two fears: fear of falling and loud noises. Those are the only two. Everything else we learn over the years. We learn how to be afraid of all these other things in our lives. We watch all these horror movies and and we watch these documentaries and we watch the news and we learn all these other fears, or from just our peers and stuff, that shouldn't be fears to begin with. When we're kids, we have no fear hardly, but we're full of hope. And then when we get older, that switches. We're full of fear and I might have said that wrong. When we're a kid, we have no fear and full of hope. And when we're an adult, we're full of fear and no hope. At what point did that change in our lives? Where does the hope go? You start becoming afraid of failure. A kid falls down like thousands of times before they learn how to walk. They keep getting up. It doesn't bother them. They just move on. They're not afraid of failing. So at what point did we learn to be afraid of failing? Because I feel like that's the biggest reason we lose hope. We're afraid of failing again. We just assume it's going to happen again. It's a learned trait. We need to stop learning to be afraid of failure so that we can have that hope. Another thing with kids is imagination. My son and I were playing Legos today, and like most of the day, and he was building all kinds of stuff, and like some of it was kind of cool. And like I mean he's only 3, so like sometimes he has a little trouble with. But I hear him like walking me through like all these different stories of like what these superheroes are doing and all these things. And has a very active imagination. But then as we get older, we lose that. Why? Like I understand like we become adults, like we get jobs and whatever, but why do we lose our imagination? I believe that could be uh educated a little bit better, or encouraged, I should say, encouraged a little bit better in school. Obviously there's like certain things like kids got to learn, but I do feel like in some ways I don't have the exact answers, but I do believe that imagination could be encouraged more in schools. Like our big thing with Clark is like we let him color all the time, and like we let him do what he wants, like art. He loves to color and stuff, so we let his imagination run wild because we want to encourage that and develop that. We don't want him to lose that. We don't want everyone like. I watched a video one time and it talked about like everyone just like, all right, everyone from time when we're kids, like stand in a straight line, stand up straight, don't slouch, look forward, don't talk, only speak when you're supposed to, right? Like all these different things. It's like we're taught to be the same instead of encouraged to be different like we are. We're encouraged to be normal. Stop being normal. I'm not normal. I don't want to be normal. Normal is boring. Normal is not going to get me anywhere. Normal is not going to help me succeed. Normal is not going to help me change lives. I don't want to be normal. Stop being normal. Be weird. The most successful people in the world are weird. That's how they got there. They thought outside the box. Their imagination kept going. They had the hope instead of the fear. Last thing is just having fun. Look at how much fun kids have. And you could say like, oh, because they don't have jobs. Outside of that, even if like you're working 40 hours a week or whatever, who cares? Outside of that, you can have fun. You can go do things. But we sit there and just veg out in front of the TV all the time instead of getting out like doing fun things. Like I said, I played with Clark like most of the day with Legos. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Go out and do stuff. Oh, I don't have any money. We'll go to the park. Go to the zoo. Go find something to do that's fun. Get out and enjoy life. Stop using excuses as why you can't have fun and why you don't have any imagination and why you don't have any hope and why you're full of fear and everything else. Like, get that stuff out of your head and move on. Start being a kid again. Think back to what you did as a kid. Here's an idea. I don't know if you saw. I found one shoebox of my old toys from when I was a kid that I gave Clark, and I give him one like each year. I think it's kind of cool. But if you have something like maybe some of the old toys in a shoebox or something, or go buy some Legos, I don't care. Go play with some. Do something you did when you were a kid. Build a fort. We've built a fort many times for Clark in the living room. We haven't done it in the new house yet. We're going to do that soon, but it's amazing. Build a fort. Do something you did when you're like 8 years old. Think back to that. If you're trying to like come up with something like career-wise, say you're trying to change jobs or come up with a new idea or something like that, I bet you if you went back and did something you did when you were a kid, it might spark an idea because it reactivates it, re-engages your imagination. And when you go to the store, say hi to people, wave, smile. Do it for you. Don't just do it for them, for their reaction. If they don't react, don't take that negatively. Just move on and do the same for somebody else because somebody might need that. There might be somebody having a really rough day and they needed somebody to smile at them that day. And you might be that smile. So channel your inner child and make sure to encourage all those great things in your children so that they can live full, happy, healthy lives and not just blend in with the crowd.